Hey Troubleholics, welcome back to another video. If you are new, hello, my name is Johanna and hopefully you decide to subscribe and become part of the Troubled family. Now this video today is going to be on a full face using only Milani products. I have been obsessed with Milani for over 5 years now. I've been using their products, the products that pretty much got me really into makeup. The first primer that I loved, people were bragging about Smashbox before. I tried that primer, it sucked, I didn't like it, and then I went to Milani and used their primer, which was like more of a lotiony texture, and I loved it. But anyways, enough of that. I definitely went ham and I bought a bunch of products. I am pretty much testing them out in this video, so I went with this little cut crease moments. I am so excited for you guys to see the video, so I think enough of me talking and blabbing away. Let's just get into the video so that you guys can just enjoy. Grab yourself some snacks, pretzels, whatever you want to eat, some fruit, a drink, and let's get into the video. The first thing we're gonna start with is with this Weekend Brow pen. It's like a microblading pen. So I don't know, I've never used a pen to do my eyebrows, to do that nice little microbladed look. I actually use powder. So yeah, let's see what this is gonna be like. I got the shade soft brown, so hopefully it's good. If not, then I'm just gonna dip into one of the eyeshadow palettes and just work that way. So let's open this up and use it, get right into it. All right, so now going in with this, I'm a little scared, but all I'm gonna be doing is filling in wherever I have like bald spots. I'm not like filling the whole brow in. So let's start on this side. And that's all we're doing. It's just little strokes. And down at the bottom here. And you're just going to fill them in. I'm just not gonna do too much. So that's the eyebrow. It looks okay, but I might go back in with powder just to like, you know. Okay, so I figured I'm gonna start with the eyes just because I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, and I feel like that takes the longest when you don't know what you want to do. So I'm gonna go in with the primer. This is the only primer they have that I've seen online, and I've heard like different thoughts on this. I heard that it works, I heard that it sucks. So I guess I'll find out, right? Okay, so I'm gonna apply this using my finger because I don't know why. Oh, this feels like, I don't like it. It feels like silicone. I can see why people did not like this. Like, it's smearing everywhere on my lid. I don't know if that's supposed to be how it feels. Ew. Okay, I can't knock it till I try it, but that does not feel good. Feels like it has Vaseline in it. Like, that's the consistency, the feel that I get. And I'm trying to pat it on. Okay, so we're gonna give this a try on one eye and see how it goes. So far, I'm not liking it. Now, am I supposed to let this dry on my eye? So we gotta let this set for 30 seconds. It's burning my eyelid, not gonna lie. So while that dries, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do for eyeshadow. I am going to choose an eyeshadow from one of these palettes, or maybe I'll just incorporate a shade from each palette. So I have the Milani Gilded Gold Palette. This one is so pretty inside. I'm just gonna show you guys the colors really quick. That's what it looks like inside. So pretty. The Gilded Nude Palette, which this palette is so pretty. So this is the perfect nude palette if you are someone who just likes to be like, you know, into nude colors, one color in the lid, two colors, nothing more, nothing crazy. Or even if you want something that's a little more on the glam side and, you know, blown out, you can still do that with this palette. The only thing is that it's $20 for this palette, which I feel like that's a lot for a drugstore palette, especially when you have like other brands with a palette that's cheaper. I mean, I think that's something to keep in mind, but we're gonna see if they're worth the $20 or not. And then on top of that, I have this palette, which is also a face palette by them. And it has a few shadow shades in here, which there's 3 shades. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So this pretty much looks like it dried down. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to put some eyeshadow on. I think I want to do, I'm gonna use a shade from all the palettes, I think. Well, somewhat, kind of. I'm gonna go into the shade Chill from the Gilded Nude Palette. That is this shade right here, which is like a dark brown. Okay, let's try it. So I am going to do like a cut crease. So far, the primer is working okay. I don't see anything like wrong with the primer. The eyeshadows are sticking. The primer feels very weird, but I mean, the eyeshadow is applying very well. We'll see going in with the other shades. The next shade I will be going into is in the Gilded Gold Palette. And I'm just gonna go into this shade here called Fembot. Oh, Jesus. Right here is the shade Fembot. So I'm gonna apply that right above and Chill from the Gilded Nude. We're gonna put that right up here. So now I'm just going to tug a little bit and I'm going to blend out the outer edges of Fembot, the shade Fembot. I'm gonna bring it up into the brow if I can. And then now I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M330 brush. I'm blending the two shades here where they meet and just making them look good. Okay, so I kind of cleaned up the crease a bit and I'm like thinking in my head, like I can't put this primer to finish cutting the crease because I usually fix it up a little bit more with the concealer or usually a base. But since this eyeshadow primer is very like slippery, this is more, I feel like this eyeshadow is more for a look that you're not going to be cutting your crease, you know what I'm saying? This is for more like put on the colors you're going to put on and keep going. What I can say is the color did stick. The eyeshadow doesn't look patchy or anything. It looks really good. So yes, my advice when it comes to this primer, if you're a person that's just gonna wear one eyeshadow color and like, you know, or a simple eye look, for sure it's like perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. You just gotta put it on and let it dry down. Don't like touch it. And I would say probably do your eyeshadow before your makeup so that way you're not getting this oily, like it's like silicone-y. I don't even know how to explain what it feels like, but it almost feels like there's Vaseline in it. And it's an invisible finish, which is so cool, but I wouldn't recommend doing your doing your makeup first and then the eyeshadow. I would just do the eyeshadow first with this and then go ahead and do your face once your eyeshadow is done. I will definitely use this again and I will let you guys know how I like it and the whole 9 yards and all the jazz, okay? Okay, so like I was saying, I'm gonna put some of the concealer on the back of my hands and use that to cut the crease. All right, well, not cut the crease, but finish cutting the crease. So I am just going to lean my head back and pretty much start to cut. I'm like trying to be very careful with this crease cutting here. When I get into like these, then I think about, damn, how am I gonna get the other eye to look the same? So I'm gonna go all the way out and then I'm going to just tap it with my fingers to blend it out. I think this is the best part of not having nails right now, is the fact that I can use my fingers to blend out the base or the concealer. Okay, so the next shade that I want to go in with is a gold shade, and obviously this palette is the Gilded Gold Palette, which has so many beautiful gold shades in it. So I don't know which shade I want. This palette is absolutely beautiful, you guys. Okay, so the shade I'm gonna go in with is the shade Awesome, which is this shade right here. And I'm going to be using the Morphe G15 brush to apply that shade. I'm going to try applying it without spraying the brush to see how the color applies. And if I don't like it, then I'll spray my brush and reapply. So let's see. So let's go ahead and spray the brush. Yeah, applies so much better with the wet Okay guys, so I did clean up like where I want to do like a quick wing. I do want to connect it upwards, so all I did was just use a Q-tip and makeup remover to do this. I'm going to just apply the concealer at the back of my hand, and then using a little brush like this. This is a nail brush. I tried to bring it out all the way over here, but for some reason it just wasn't working. So that's gonna be my guide. Yes, if you guys can hear talking, that is my kids. I'm trying to make it kind of thick so that way you guys can see some color on there. Okay, so in the Gilded Nude Palette, there's this shade right here called Hit Snooze. It's like a reddish toned brown. I'm gonna apply that to the outer corner of that wing. I saw this look and was like so inspired. So I'm just going to use that out here. I'm just gonna bring it up here. I'll probably just cut it off. I'm not sure if that's what I want, but I'm just like connecting this together, kind of, you know what I mean? And then you can always go back and connect them. So the part where I added this color, which is Eden in the Gilded Gold Palette, was cut off. I'm sorry that it doesn't show it, but I did apply this to the other part of the liner effect that I was doing. So from the inner corner about 3/4 of the way to the end where it meets with the other brown shade. Yeah, so you'll see it in the next clip, like what it looks like. Sorry it was cut off, you guys. So then you're just gonna clean it up and fix it like wherever it needs fixing. What I did was I do go in with like a little like detailed brush and get in there like that. I kind of have to curve it like that to make it look kind of the same. Okay, so now that I'm done with the eyes finally somewhat and fixing them, and they're not the same, but it is what it is. I keep on going back trying to fix it and it's just like not happening for me. I just wanted to test things out for this video. And the next thing I'm gonna go in with is this Milani Spf Bff Primer. It has SPF 30 in it. Unfortunately, I'm not going anywhere. I've been home, so I'm just gonna put this on for here in the house. But I used to buy this primer by Milani like all the time. 5 years ago, this was like my primer. It was a little white little I don't know what you would call it, squeeze bottles or container, and it was, so this is like the remake of it. I used to love that primer, so I'm gonna go in with this and just start to prime. So far I'm not disappointed on anything I've used. Oh, this feels so good. Oh my god, it's bringing back memories to when I used to use this. Okay, now that this is dried down, the next primer I'm gonna go in is with this no Pore Zone primer. This primer, I only apply this to my T-zone because this isn't a primer you want to apply to your whole face. This is to hide pores. So like here, my chin, even under the nose and stuff, and like on your forehead. I wouldn't recommend using this all over your face at all. A lot of people make that mistake and then they wonder why it just doesn't look good. Well, that is why. So already I squeezed this out and this is like the texture that it has. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like a silicone-y primer. I don't know, this just silicone for me is just not it. It makes my skin look so ugly. It just doesn't make my foundation look good at all. Oh my god, look at my hair. Okay, so while I give this primer some time to dry down a little bit, I'm going to be using this sponge to apply the foundation. This sponge, there's two sponges, so I went and got this off of their website as well. I don't know if you can find these at stores, but it is on the Milani website. I am a big fan of the Beauty Blender. Then I found a dupe for it that works for me because I've tried other sponges that people recommend that are dupes and they really are not dupe. Pretty much on Amazon, there's this brand called Aesthetica and their sponge is bomb. So I got these because, ooh, yep, it has a lot of bend to it. It's not stiff. I like because it's flat here. This is like a flat end and it's flat on the tip here. So like for the nose, like, then it has a smaller one. So it has a small one, and this one's good for under the eye or even the sides of the nose or whatever you want to use it for. I'm like really excited to try these out, and if these are good, I'm ordering a crap ton. We're gonna try these out and see how I like them, and I'll let you guys know as well. I'm sorry if you hear crying, but Lucas is with his dad and he always wants to be with me and his dad doesn't let him, so that I can do the video in peace, and he's flipping out. So now that my primer is greasy as hell on my face, I feel like setting it with like a powder, like lightly setting my face with the powder before I apply the foundation. So the powder I got was the Prep Set and Go powder. I was gonna get the loose powder, but I just went with this one. So yeah, we're gonna go with this one, and we're just gonna use, I'm gonna use this Tarte brush. It says lightly, so I'm gonna set my face really quick. Okay, so I forgot. So I got this Milani Supercharged Brightening Under Eye Tint, which I'm gonna apply that. I hope that me powdering my face isn't gonna ruin the effect, but I'm gonna put some on really quick underneath the eye. This is supposed to hide like dark circles, and if you can see, I have dark circles here. I just don't get sleep these days, or if I do get sleep, I get woken up. So I'm gonna apply that right underneath the eye here and just build it up really quick. And this is in the shade Peach 120. I didn't go darker because I didn't think I needed to, but we'll see. Wow, look at the difference, you guys. So look at this eye, see that? And then look at this eye. And before it was like so noticeable. Wow. And you can just, like, I'm just applying little by little. I'm not going in. So another thing, so I could feel like a cooling effect on this. I feel like a lot of their products has that effect. The primer for the eyes, I thought it was like burning, but no, it's like the cooling sensation. You guys, this feels so good. I feel so awake. Like, I definitely am gonna use this like all the time. I think all summer long, because I have to look awake. Okay, so for foundation, I'm just gonna go with their oldie but goodie, which is the Conceal Perfect 2-in-1. This one is a foundation and concealer. I was gonna get the new dewy, I forgot what it is. I think it's like a BB cream or whichever one it is. But I went with this one because I already know that a lot of people love this one. And to be honest, I've never tried Milani foundation. It's crazy because I own so many things by Milani. I have blushes, highlighters, primers. I just never got their foundation or concealer. So yeah, let's try this out. Apply it here. Oh. I'm just going to apply it everywhere. And I'm starting with a very little product, and then I'll just work my way. Yeah. And let's see how this works. So we want to use this side for the face. So I have no issues with the primer. I set the face first because it was, like I said, a silicone primer, and this worked out. Now I am going to go back in with the concealer that I used for the eyes and the eyebrows. So I'm just going to apply just a little bit here on this inner corner here of the eye, and then we're gonna apply some over here. Same thing. Oh that was a little too much. And then here, a little bit here. I like to go a little extra over here, and then here, and I always do this here and here. I gotta keep making sure that I'm recording because I feel like my camera sometimes just stops when it runs out of room, when my memory card runs out of room. I think this shade is a little light for me, but we're gonna make it work. Yeah, we're gonna use the big sponge for up here, and then I'm going to use the little one for under my eyes and stuff. This concealer dries, I feel like, fast. So we're gonna use a little one, and we are going to under here because I gotta finish the eyeshadow, and then we're going to bring it up on that outer edge here. I feel like I'm gonna get sick. That's all I'm applying. There we go. So I'm really loving these sponges. Loving them. I feel like this concealer is way too light for me. I got the shade Light Nude. I think I could have went a darker shade. I like my concealers to be more of my skin tone color, and this is like too light for me. But it's okay. We're gonna work with it. Maybe I'll just use this for when I want to get like a little lighter in some areas. That's done, and I have to say I love these sponges. They're so good. They're up there like with the beauty blenders. I'm sorry for anybody that doesn't like these, but it did the job for me. So if anybody had like issues with it, I don't know what issue you had, but my foundation looks really good. No complaints. So I am into cream contouring, and there's no cream contour, so I did buy a darker shade concealer. I went with the shade Cool Cocoa, so hopefully this can like bring in some color to my skin. Okay, so I'm gonna apply this wherever I would contour. Let's see the shade. Oh, that's too dark. Oh, that's too dark. It didn't look that dark in the, so I'm just gonna dot it. So much for me liking darker toned. It's definitely a contour shade, but it's too dark for me. So, but we're gonna use it because I bought it, and then I'll just give it to like my aunt or someone who is darker toned than I am. Oh, okay, it's not that bad when I start to blend it out, actually. It's a perfect tone. Okay. I got scared. It's like very intimidating when you first throw it on. So yeah, it's perfect toned actually. This is how I like my contour to be. I don't like that orangey contour that a lot of people like. It's not for me. It's looking good. I like this video. Okay, so I'm happy. I'm happy with the shade or their tone. I'm loving it. I really like this concealer as a contour shade, and again this is the shade Cool Cocoa because I like the cool toned contour. I don't like the oranges. I'm sorry if you hear Lucas, but he walked into my beauty room. So now for the nose, I'm going to use the smaller sponge, and you have to be very careful. So you almost have to blend inward because of the way that I like dotted everything. So because you don't want to like make it go downwards, you want it to stay where it's at, blend in like that. So because I went a little ham, I'm going to just apply 2 dots to the nose and little teeny, oh Jesus, to where the tip would be. The sponge, you can only use just a teeny bit because the sponge doesn't soak up the product you use. Like it legit just spreads it where you need it. So you need to just use a very little product and you should be good. And that's what I did. My nose gets runny every time. Okay, so to set under my eyes, I am going to use the Prep Set and Go translucent powder. This is the same powder I used to set my face before applying my foundation, which was the best thing I did because my foundation looks so good right now, you guys. It looks so good. It's mattified. It looks really good. Okay, so I'm gonna be using this Real Techniques brush to apply the powder under the eye, and I'm just gonna set the under eye with this, even though to be honest I don't even need to, because like I feel like that concealer pretty much like set itself. Like it goes from a liquid to a powder finish. I don't know if that makes sense. So happy with my purchase, with my Milani purchase. So let's go ahead and set the face now. Really lightly. I don't want to set it too much, and I'm just lightly setting the face. All right, so next I'm going to be going in with this bronzer here. This is in the shade Sunkissed, and it's their Silky Matte line. I got this one. It was like the coolest toned one. Usually darker skin tones wear this, but I like it for myself. Just letting you guys know, just in case you're like, oh, it's too dark for you. I don't care. It's the shade that I like to use, okay? All right, so I'm dipping into that here. It smells good though. And I'm pretty much applying that there. Forehead. And this brush that I'm using is a brush that my son bought me. So I don't know. It's a mermaid brush and I think he got it from Five Below. I don't know if you guys would find it there, but if you do, you're welcome. I don't know if I'm going to use this today. The bronzer is more of like the yellow toned bronzers, you know, the ones that I don't like. And the highlight, it's alright. I'll maybe use the blush from in there. Alright, so for blush, I am gonna go in with this one here. This one has no name, it just says blush matte, so it's the matte blush. Ooh, that's a little bit much. I applied too much there. Okay, I'm trying to blend it out because I went a little ham. I definitely applied a little too much, so I'm just gonna like blend some off. It has good pigment. It's pink. For highlight, I'm gonna try using the one that's in here, which is this goldish toned color here. So I'm gonna use this Morphe Jeffree Star JS4 brush, and I'm just going to apply that right here and just check it out, how I feel about it. And I'm just gonna add some up here. Okay, it's not that bad. So I do like the highlight. The highlight is very cute, but my favorite highlight by Milani is this one here. This is the Afterglow from their strobe light line. Oh, guys, when I tell you this highlight is bomb, I'm not kidding. Like, this highlight is so good. I'm actually gonna put this one over top of this one so you guys can see. Look at that. See that? That is why this is my favorite. Let's apply some to the nose. And then some right here. Look at that. You see that? Do you see why this is like my favorite highlight? If I'm gonna recommend a highlight to you guys, it's this. So my camera cut me off. I don't know where I left off in the video. I just know that this lip combo is bomb. This is by the Salt and Pepper collab. Salt and Pepper collab with Milani, and this is the shade Shoop. If you grew up in the 90s, you are going to love this. This is like a brown lip liner with like a nude, the nude lip that was used in the 90s. I'm loving it. Loving it. Now lastly, to set the face, I am going to take the Milani Make It Last. My makeup looks really good. That blush and everything, it doesn't look blotchy. Nothing looks gross or like muddy. Everything like blended in really nice, very good, seamlessly. Oh, inner corner. I don't know what to do with my inner corner. I'm gonna use the shade Ultra Gilded. I'm gonna wet this little brush that I have here, and you're gonna put it right in there. Ring it in. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. I took my hair down. It is still a little damp. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and until the next one. So on your way out, don't forget to share this video with friends and family. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell notification symbol so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. Bye.